What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and today I'm back to bring you some more lore on the Warhammer 40K universe. Now, if you don't know, I'm kind of reworking my lore on my own Tau army. Back in the day, I used to call it the Burning Moon Contingent. This was back in 7th edition when there was like detachments and whatnot. So I decided to kind of update it to the 8th edition new lore that's been coming out for the Tau. So if you guys want to know a little bit more as to what my army is all about, I recommend you guys check out I think it's called OMS Tau or OMS Army Showcases, and my army is being showcased on there, and I talk a little bit about each unit. Or you guys can head on over to our Facebook page. I think it's One Mind Syndicate /Facebook or whatever, and I gave you guys a little bit of lore, or at least the names of my 5 commanders that are going to be part of this Burning Moon contingent. So, with that being said, I was scouring to see if I could find any short stories on the Tau that could kind of, give me inspiration, give me some cool, notable battles to kind of work around with. And I found one for Farsight. Now, if you don't know, my army is based around the Farsight enclaves. I really like the whole lore, the whole backstory behind Commander Farsight, and so I decided to go that route. So this short story talks about Farsight and his battle on Mugulath Bay. So without further ado, guys, let's sit back, relax, and enjoy these 40 facts on Commander Farsight and this short story on the Tau. Within his XV-08 Crisis battlesuit, Oshova shook his head. Even with his shield generator blanketing him in a suppression field, the blast had rattled Farsight, blowing him backwards off of his feet and burying him beneath volumes of sand. He felt the sting as autostimulants were injected into his body, a brief burn as the chemicals surged through his bloodstream. Instantly, his fogginess began to clear. Once all of his senses came back to him, he could hear something besides that infernal ring in his ears. Farsight began to address each of the warning signs and incoming messages that filled his internal hologram display. And while doing so, he also worked his way through the signals of the rest of the 8, his vital warriors. They all had cleared enough of the impact zone to have survived, although many registered damage from compromised armor points to destroyed drones. Next, Farsight checked the cadres, and finally, he quickly reviewed the progress of the other 7 strikes all across Mugulath Bay. And when he did so, he signaled his bodyguard to form up around him, and then checked the orbital map. There was a small window of time as one Imperial battleship drifted out of position, and another one took its place. The Tau had 4 minutes, maybe even 5, to move out. Now was the time to press the attack, or to fall back and regroup. To stay still in the open was surely to die for nothing. Quickly analyzing the data he had, Farsight activated his jump jets, blasting himself out of cover and landing upright. The world was a sandstorm, yet a sensor away swept the field. The Guela, it seemed, were unexpectedly well led. Farsight knew he had broken them. Only moments ago they had panicked and were ripe for the slaughter. Yet now, the icons falling black were not racing chaotically, and they were no longer fleeing, but marching at speed. Already a new battle line was forming up on a distant ridge. It seemed that was where they intended to stand. This was a good order from the foe, and Farsight respected that control. This was indeed a worthy adversary, and the brief reprise that severed them well. The line they were forming was already being reinforced, with great waves of armor coming in behind them. 3 minutes, that was all that was left. Time was running short. "Honored leader," said Commander Brightsword, appearing by his side. Turning to face his protege, Farsight saw that the young warrior had received the Dawnblade and was now holding it. Even in this grit storm, the weapon glittered with strange energies. As Farsight bowed and reclaimed his weapon, the commander had made his decision, boosting his comms relay to maximum broadcast range. Farsight addressed his cadres, any and all Tau who were listening. "Reform. Dawnblade contingents upon my lead. Counter-Strike cadres upon Oshundra. Aircast 1 through 5 on sweep, 6 through 10 on air superiority. We attack in 1 minute upon these coordinates, said Farsight, forwarding all his attack formations. Clear this area immediately. Enemy artillery incoming. With a jetted accentuated bound, Farsight leapt into the muster point, his bodyguard fighting alongside him. Behind them, once again, the world shook beneath massive bombardments. Squadron after squadron of Leman Russ battle tanks opened fire, and the sound was like thunder rolling down a valley. This was indeed the Emperor's might made manifest. Made of a lightweight yet incredibly strong nanocrystalline alloy, the Tau battlesuits proved excellent impact resistance. Their well-designed shapes and angles helped deflect solid shells, sending them ricocheting harmlessly away. The armor's reflective liquid metal coating could even defeat that of beam technology. Shield drones hovered near the battlesuits as well, blanketing their charges with invisible barriers capable of stopping even direct hits from a las cannon. Yet again, all the incoming firepower of the Imperial Guard. The red armored battlesuits were blasted apart by the dozen. The momentum of this battle had indeed shifted. As the majority of the Farsight Enclave's long-range firepower, the Riptide Wings, and armored interdiction cadres were only beginning to enter effective range. They offered very little assistance to their battlesuits. The Imperial Guard infantry, no longer the main force of Farsight's fury, were able to regroup. With mass las gun and heavy weapon fire, they took a measure of revenge upon the Tau battlesuits that had broken them twice already. Farsight was well aware of his people, that they were sustaining massive casualties. Even as he leapt upon a Leman Russ tank and thrust his Dawnblade through the hull, the Tau commander was checking his hollow screen. Activating jump jets, Farsight was airborne before the internal explosion ripped the tank apart. And then he saw what he had hoped for. His holoscreens were alive with movement. Battlesuits plummeted around them while devilfish sped from the flanks, and above, the air was filled with shoals of strafing razor sharks. Farsight saw with relief that these troops wore the right sept markings of the Tau and the orange lines of Sakea, and then the red decorations of his own home sept, Vior-La. Commander Shadowsun had arrived at the head of the forces of the Tau Empire, ready to lend her strength. From orbit came the Skitarii. Their targets must be brought down, and so the encoded commands from the High Lords were orders from Holy Mars itself. To serve the Omnissiah was everything to these warriors of the Cult Mechanicus. However, the Tau were backed by the enormous storm surge, and the Tau poured forth an immense amount of firepower. Fire warriors and drones hovered alongside them, and they sent forth a furious fusillade, while battlesuits vaulted close with their jump jets to deliver withering blasts of sustained shots of pulse fire from their burst cannons. Still, the Skitarii came forward, marching over their fallen, never slowing in their advance. Driving over the dead came the scuttle-legged onager dune crawlers, their multiple appendages enabling them to climb over the piled bodies with ease. At that range, their eradication beamers were deadly only to infantry, so they continued to crawl forward upon their mechanized crab legs. Closer. They must get closer still. The Skitarii Rangers unleashed their own electrical storm, with the vanguard stalking closer to bringing the foe within range of their radium carbines. In the containment haze, the two forces clashed. One army, the upstart Tau, believed technology was the way forward, the key to progress, the best means to every end. The other, the Skitarii of the Adeptus Mechanicus, worshipped technology, not for its promise of progress, but rather for its own sake. They coveted it, superstitiously finding their god hidden within the mechanical secrets. Thus, two ideologies clashed, pitting their firepower against one another. And that is where this short story kind of video ends. I'm not really sure what to call it, because these little short stories or snippets of battle are all about Mugulath Bay and the Tau defending it from the Skitarii, the Imperial Guard, and then later on, Space Marines come in. So this is the first part of this video. Stay tuned because there's probably going to be a part 2 or part 3 because these battles are pretty interesting. So if you guys liked what we do here at One Mind Syndicate, please subscribe. We post videos each and every day. Make sure to hit that like button and share this video so all your friends can see how awesome Warhammer 40K is. Also, if you guys want to support us a little bit more, you can head on over to Patreon. We post exclusive videos on there, and it's only $1 a month. That dollar goes a long way to help us, bring you more epic 40K videos. And yeah, so I guess with that being said, guys, that's all I've got for you today. This is the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll see you guys next time.